When something has symmetry, it is the same on both sides. When something has equal parts that repeat around the middle, it has radial symmetry. A starfish, a sea urchin, and jellyfish all have radial symmetry. In nature, some flowers and snowflakes also have radial symmetry. In art, we see radial symmetry in things like mandalas or mandalas and stained glass windows. The next images are photographs of outdoor sculptures by Andy Goldsworthy. Andy Goldsworthy is an artist who lives in Scotland. He uses things like leaves, rocks, and sticks to create art. Many of his outdoor sculptures have radial symmetry. These sculptures are temporary, which means they will only last for a short amount of time and are not permanent like most sculptures. Photographs can help us remember temporary nature sculptures. I collected some things from around my yard to make outdoor art with radial symmetry. I looked for things that I had several of, things like rocks that were a similar size and color, acorn tops, leaves, and sticks that I broke into pieces to make them about the same length. I started by making a center. I put all of the acorn tops together for the middle. Next, I added yellow leaves, repeating all the way around the acorn center. Sometimes they did not want to stay put, but that's okay. You just put them back into place the best you can. Nature is imperfect. I took the small sticks and I placed them evenly around the leaves. Things in nature are not all exactly the same size, so just do your best when deciding how far apart you want to make them. I found rocks that were about the same size and shape and color, and I placed those around the outside of the sticks. I tried to place them evenly. Next, I took some dried magnolia leaves and I placed those around the outside of my sculpture. Now I have a temporary sculpture that has radial symmetry. For my next sculpture, I only used rocks. First, I sorted them by color. The lightest were almost white and the darkest were almost black, and there were 3 shades in between. When you arrange something by light to dark or dark to light, it is called a gradient. I started by placing the darkest, the almost black rocks in the center of a circle where I wanted my temporary sculpture to be. Next, I took the second darkest rocks, the dark brown rocks, and I placed those in a circle that went all the way around the black rocks. You can keep making your circles bigger by adding more layers of rocks, depending on how many rocks you have and how big you want your sculpture to be. The lighter brown rocks came next, followed by the light tan rocks, and finally the almost white rocks. If you use a gradient in your sculpture, you can also work from lightest to darkest. Here are two more examples of temporary sculptures that I made with radial symmetry using things I found around my yard. Another option for this project is to use things that you find inside your house to create a sculpture. Be creative in what you use, but remember that if you make an indoor sculpture, you need to make it temporary and clean it up when you finish. If you can, take pictures of your temporary sculptures and post them in the comments. I can't wait to see what you create.